Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Sup? All right. So let's see. Oh wow, a couple people already started. I guess it helped waiting 7 minutes to get in. But yeah, sorry. So sorry. I let's see, what do we got here? Bunch of comments in here. I know what pretty much everything is going to be. Holy crap, a lot of people already talking. Okay, listen. So I don't want to delay this too much. I'm quitting Comic Book University. This is actually going to be the last live stream that I do. This is going to be the last anything that I do. I'm ending the. I'm screwing with you guys. A bunch of people like, no, it's not going to happen. All right, Comic Book University is still going to be here. So relax and chillax, my peeps. We good. What do you call it? I am going to be cutting down a lot on my reviews, though. So Dragon's like, nah. So anyway, no, I need to cut down a lot on my reviews. And here are the changes that are going to actually be changing at the end of the day. Love you too, Cryptid. Hi, Paula. What's going on? Suan, what's up, lady? So all my peeps are here. All facts. Get off your pins and needles. Listen, the changes are going to be actually really simple. Okay, you go back and you look at some of my most recent reviews or any of my comic book reviews, and you can see that some of them simply don't add up. They don't make sense to continue them. Okay. I prefer to have, like, I understand in general where my channel is, and I understand what my channel is. Okay. There aren't too many comic book channels out there that cover the actual reviews of comic books. You know what I'm saying? So, one, a lot of them will put up their reviews of an issue a week later, where they get to be really safe with what they do. And I've got commentary on that also. I misinterpreted a comic book, and I feel really bad about what I said. Well, not really bad, but pretty bad about, whatever. And I had a private conversation. I'm not going to go into the private conversation, but I did have a private conversation with somebody, a writer, and I got a response back. And I do want to talk about that. Which does affect, it is based on the idea that I just review way too many comic books. So I love when I see that my reviews, one or two of my reviews goes above 1,000 views. I love when that happens. It means it's a hot comic book. You know what I'm saying? But I expect my comic book reviews with the size of my channel and what I do to be around 500. You know what I'm saying? I expect them to be around 500. If it's less than 500, okay, not the most popular book in the world, but there's still a chance that it can go up there, right? But if I'm getting less than 200 views on a comic book, mind you, this does not include like an Image comic book. This does not include a Valiant comic book or a Dynamite or a Boom Studios comic book or, God forbid, an indie comic book. You know what I'm saying? Like a true indie comic book. Like I just reviewed Treble recently, which is actually a really good book. And it's the only book this guy's ever done. He's producing and spending money and, getting the comic book out there by himself. I mean, like there's a lot of people like that. And I get request, hey, could you please review my comic book all the time? Something like that, if it's less than 200 reviews, or excuse me, 200 views on that issue, hey man, I get it. It is what it is, but I'm here. I do want to be here, and I want to use my platform to try and help out these unbelievably small, comic book creators that just don't have the ability to really, promote their work. So I love being able to do that. I love being here for you guys to show you guys some of those things, and I want to be able to help these guys out to get their work seen, so that maybe they could one day start writing for Marvel or DC or one of these, the other channels and whatnot, channels, the other any of the avenues of being able to write or draw their comic books. I want these guys to be able to get bigger and do the things that they do. Suan McGinnis in the chat, one of my mods. She's actually writing a comic book right now. If you go back and check out my Christmas episode of This Week in Comics, you actually get to meet Suan. You get to talk about Suan, and I get to show you some of the stuff on her phone that she's actually done with my bud Oliver, who's actually doing the art for the book. I don't care if this thing only gets 2 views. I'm going to promote it because I want for all of the small people, especially Suan. I mean, Suan, for crying out loud. But at the end, who in the chat doesn't love Suan? Let's show some Suan love in the chat, for crying out loud. But like, who doesn't want to see small comic book creators potentially get bigger, to get a bigger audience? So of course, boom, they are 100% exempt from this. But as are anything that's non-Marvel, non-DC. But as far as the Marvel and DC stuff is concerned, no. No, 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 no. Sorry. Listen, there's a certain level of, credence that I'm going to give to some of these because it is Marvel, it is DC. But case in point, I know when Leah Thompson first wrote a comic book for Marvel, for the most part, nobody knew who Leah Thompson was. Who is this person joining our comic books? Who is this person? Frank Thierry jumps up on something. No, who is this Frank Thierry person? Somebody new jumps on. Oh, for crying out loud, Brian Edward Hill. Imagine that. Imagine if nobody gave Brian Edward Hill a chance, right? This guy's written some of the most amazing comic books out there. What if nobody gave this guy a chance? So remember when Scott Snyder first appeared on the scene? Imagine if nobody gave this guy a chance because, oh, what's this guy written before? He's going to start writing Batman or whatever he's going to write now. Imagine that, right? So if there is a small, a low count for somebody, that's new to a Marvel DC comic book, I'll give some leeway. And I'm going to have to just make that call on my own. It's going to be on the fly. But for the most part, if I'm on like issue 2 or 3, or even let's say in issue 1 and I'm just getting less than 200 views on a comic book, clearly there's no interest. There's only but so much I can do because I notice a pattern. An issue 1 that I do will oftentimes get a lot of reviews, but views, but whatever they're viewing, they typically always go down afterwards. There's some exceptions when it's like, oh, we're going to be introducing a new character. So it's going to be a big character. If Marvel promotes something, if DC promotes something, oh, sometimes the views can go up. But like at the end of the day, they usually go down. So you know what? If there's a Marvel or DC comic book that is 200 views or less, or simply can't get to even 200 reviews, I'm done. I'm done. And this is, by the way, within the first couple of days. I actually give it until like Friday usually, but today I might give that to also, like a Saturday. I might do that also. But at the end of the day, like I can't keep on just trying to promote comic books. And here's one of the things that actually does genuinely bother me. And this is where I do kind of get a little bit snowflakey myself. Okay. If I'm reviewing your comic book and you can't follow me on Twitter, you don't deserve me reviewing your comic book in the first place. You really just don't. So I will try. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It bothers the hell out of me that Jim Zub doesn't follow me on Twitter. This guy actually, and I'm not trying to put him under the bus because I'm going to throw a whole bunch of people in front of that bus. I review the heck out of Jim Zub's comics. I actually just unfollowed him because I'm actually upset with this guy. You know what I'm saying? Friends with me on Facebook, but who's on Facebook? You know what I'm saying? You got to be friends with somebody on Facebook because how else are they going to see your stuff? I'm not going to follow somebody on Facebook, But I mean, when Jim Zub was essentially a nobody, hey, Baxter Clare finally made a live show. Thank you very much for the £5, brother. Genuinely appreciated. You're going to get a Ganthet. But when a Jim Zub, shows up on the scene, and for the most part, he's got his skull kickers and his Wayfinder. I forget what it's called. I just had him sign issue number 1. I had an interesting story where somebody insulted the comic book store owner, actually insulted the comic book. Like, oh yeah, I knew this was going to go into the dollar bin. And it wasn't at my comic book store. It was at a different comic book store that I was in the neighborhood. I was like, oh, cool. And I found issue number 1. So I'm like, boom, shakalaka, baby. Let me throw up your thing. Thank you very much, Baxter Clare. Anyway, so I was actually a little bit bothered by that. I a little bit snowflaked out, and I without looking at the person, I was like, huh. So you're not a huge Jim Zub fan? No, I don't think that he's, like who is he? Who is he? What did he do to deserve to be here? I'm like, well, he's worked in the comic book industry for 10 years before he got any, real traction, any real success. But now he's writing for Marvel. I think that does a lot. And he's like the indie guy, I built him up. And it's like, well, he's in the dollar bin now. I'm like, that's funny. Hey, this comic book, what's the cover price on the comic book? She looks at it and she's like, oh, yeah, the cover price was $1. So honestly, I don't understand what some people are just really silly, and I love pointing out when stupid people act silly. I love pointing stuff like that out. But at the same time, I've been following this guy for a while. I talked to him. He pretty much always has an excuse, always, always, always for not doing an interview with me and whatnot. I'm just done with it. So like, you know what? Done. And meanwhile, this guy will send me free comic books in email form in order to get me to review his comic books early, which is cute. But you can't even follow me on Twitter. You can't give me the time of day. No, I just he's always been cordial to me when I've met him in person, like at a comic book store, and he remembers my name. Hey, professor. But like at the end of the day, like it's always just been that. Plus, he sent some kind of a weird thing to me one time, which almost made me quit comic book, reviews in the first place, or quit my channel in the first place when um oh, for crying out loud, Chip Zdarsky and a couple other people, what I'm saying? He was tagging a bunch of people like, hey, we're all in I think it was Al Ewing and Jim Zub also. He tagged those two. Hey, we're all up for this one particular comic book award. What I'm saying? Hey, wouldn't it be cool if and yeah, I look forward to defeating you guys, and everybody, they're just like, oh man, blah 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 blah, and a whole bunch of people are actually talking about it, like, oh no, Chip is going to win, or no, I love all you guys and whatnot. But I go and I say something, and I was just like, oh no, it's like seeing your parents fight, because I love all these guys, saying I want to see all you guys succeed. Zub, without doing a comment, simply replies to my specific tweet. And I was new to Twitter at the time, right? Whatever. Actually responds with an image, which means he either had this thing waiting for somebody like me, or he went out of his way to find this image where somebody talks about, that somebody's trying to promote a fight between two people, and Ben Grimm, the thing, is there, and he says, every time you see two people fighting or whatever, some shameless self promoter has to come in and try and propagate himself. I looked at this as like, holy shit, what did I do to make Jim Zub this mad at me? To make him think that I was shamelessly self-promoting myself. Like, I didn't say, hey guys, by the way, I've got a channel, check out my reviews. I literally just said, seeing this is like seeing my parents fight. You know what I'm saying? Because I love all of you guys. There was no self-promotion, shameless or otherwise. I've never in my life done that. I've never, for the 3.5 years I've had this channel, I have never shamelessly promoted myself. When I do a review or whatever, or something, I used to, because I thought that's what you were supposed to do, because I was new to Twitter. I would tag the creators. When I see that I'm not getting anything back, I'm thinking, well, I don't want to get blocked or anything, because I'm always hearing things about being blocked and whatnot. So I stopped even tagging people. If somebody sees my stuff, somebody sees my stuff. And you got great people like Gail Simone and Kelly Thompson who are like, yeah, this guy's awesome. Serge Acuna and a whole bunch of people. Like, I just wished Serge Acuna happy birthday. And he turns around and he's like, thank you, Professor. I'm like, holy crap. Here's this guy who, like, he knows me and that's really cool and everything. Follows me, I follow him. Saying like there are a bunch of really cool people out there. But at the same time, that bothers me. And I see this and I'm just like, you know what? I just can't be bothered at this point. Um I just no, and I don't see him as a jackass. I don't see Jim Zub as a jackass. Look, I do have to be honest. This guy works his butt off. He's a university professor. You know what I'm saying? I forget which university it is, but someplace in Toronto. He does live in Toronto proper, one of the biggest cities in the world, the most diverse city in the world, essentially. Like, the guy is everywhere. He does go everywhere. But it does frustrate me that, like, I'm going out of my way. Plus, I talked to him the one time. I was like, I'm pretty much the only guy, one of the only guys out there who actually buys the physical comic books, even if somebody sends me the comic books for free, like you, so that I can do the review and hold up the comic book and show. And I give credit to everybody inside and everything, so that everybody gets, and it's just like, yeah, you absolutely are. You absolutely are. Can't hardly give me the time of day unless I actually visit him in person. Can't follow me on Twitter. I'm done. Donnie Cates. Uh-oh. I loves me some Donnie Cates. Y'all know I loves me some Donnie Cates, and I can separate great work from a great person. Donnie Cates does some amazing writing. A lot of people have pointed out, Professor, I never heard of Donnie Cates until you did that review. Yeah, I was reading Venom. I never looked at the person who was doing it. You know, I looked as like, who's this new guy doing it? And I've been following Donny Cates since he was writing in Heavy Metal magazine, since he was doing Baby Teeth. And there are a bunch of people who follow me before, like, oh, Redneck, God Country, holy crap, holy crap. No, I wasn't on from the very beginning and all that stuff. Although I do own his first credited work in an Ant-Man and the Wasp comic book. You know what I'm saying? I have that where he's actually special thanks to Donny Cates, who was just an intern at the time. And it's like, what do you get the special thanks for? You know what I'm saying? And all that stuff. Hey man, but like I gave this guy an interview that it's like people suddenly started to notice, holy crap, Donny Cates. Oh, he's done this and this and this. Oh wow, he's doing this stuff. Holy crap, this other wait, so I should be reading Venom? And they start reading Venom, and all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. I didn't make this guy. I didn't come anywhere close to making this guy. But I think that I did something pretty special if a lot of people are pointing out, yeah, hey man, I first heard about this guy on Comic Book University's podcast. When you see some of his other, go and look at some of his other, it's there. Go and look at some of his other interviews that he's done. You know what I'm saying? People are like, oh yeah, this one guy, Comic Book University, did an interview for him, and that's how I heard about, you know, his Venom run. So I decided to check it out and everything like that. That's kind of a big deal. I'm just going to point out that's sort of slightly a big deal. Guy can't even follow me on Twitter. How cute. How cute. You know what I'm saying? Like it's I just consider it to be rude. You know what I'm saying? So you know, and pretty much practically almost getting brushed off when I actually go and meet him in person for the first time. Like I don't know. I'm a guy who's really quick to give thanks. You know what I'm saying? I give praise. Sometimes people don't like that, so I'll back off, but I will always be, you know, gracious. I'll always show gratitude. Um Blurred Without Fear. You guys are familiar with Ernie, and I don't know if Wilfredo's in the holy he's actually he's actually here right now. What's up, brother? I'm literally just trying to think about people who are actually cool and whatnot. Look, check this out. This guy right here, and if you're not following his channel, you're wrong. You can actually right click on the three dots on the side and say go to channel. You can go over there and you can subscribe to this guy if you're not already. I don't know why you wouldn't. I am. You know what I'm saying? I what do you call it? We follow each other on Twitter, and I'm just like, oh, hey, check it out. Who's this guy? And I go and check it out. I was like, oh, he's got some really good reviews, and he's a decent human being. Very rare to find amongst the what could be a very toxic community in the form of, you know, comic books, right? So all of a sudden he puts up this link for a Twitch, and it was like 3 hours ago. And I was like, oh, he's on Twitch, you know, doing I was talking to some people, I was doing my thing, and then I look afterwards, like, oh, he's on Twitch. Let me go and hear this person live and start talking, blah blah. Because you know what, like I do this live thing every Saturday, plus every Tuesday at midnight I talk about, which that's changing, by the way. Sorry guys, that's changing. My Dawn of X review, yeah. What do you call it? Anyway, when you're talking live, that's when you could be stupid. That's when you could say something stupid and it's like, oh, and you do get a slight, sometimes it could be like a Freudian slip. Sometimes you can actually say something where it reveals your true character. You know what I'm saying? You could say something racist. You could say something sexist. You could say something that's just flat out xenophobic. You're stupid. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I don't feel those things, so I'm not afraid to come on and talk live all the time. So I'm like, oh, Ernie's going to go live, let's go check this dude out. He's just a straight up cool guy. Now I forgot that I actually made a Twitch, and I don't use Twitch. I've got zero content on my Twitch. Sometimes people go and follow me on Twitch. I'm like, why are you following me? I don't have anything. But I go and I check him out and just watch it for a while. I was like, this guy's pretty cool. Goes and makes a comment about he's playing a Yak. I think the game is called Yakuza or something like that. Anyway, so I just go and I mention something, whatever, and I was like, oh crap, it actually says Comic Book University. It's not like my actual name or anything like that. Like, oh crap, well that could look like shameless self-promotion. Uh, so I don't like doing that. Nonetheless, he looks at it, he's like, oh wow, hey, check this out. Oh, Professor Bill, you guys got to go follow him. You know what I'm saying? And like he goes, he puts a link to my channel on there, but I didn't realize it was a link to my channel. It just says, everybody go and check out this link. So I'm like, oh, I'll go check out the link. Whatever. He's promoting something. I was like, hey, that's me. So that was cool. Like, here's a dude who barely knows me. Like, realistically, dude, Ernie, I don't know you, bro. You know what I'm saying? You are freaking awesome. And I look and like, guy's got like 60,000 some odd subs. You know what I'm saying? Like I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. A lot of people think I'm big time. I don't even have 15,000 subs yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that many views. I don't consider myself that big. So when I go and I help out smaller channels, you know what I'm saying? Dylan's Comic Book Rants, Boom, Comic Boom, you know what I'm saying? Joe's Comics, you know what I'm saying? When I start helping out these small guys, I start bringing them on the channel and whatnot. Like, I try to make that a big deal. I try to get them more subs, you know what I'm saying? I try to get them more views and whatnot. It's about helping out everybody in the community. It's about that. You know what I'm saying? So Ernie goes and does something like that. That's freaking cool. That's real talk. I'm gonna stop because I don't want this guy blushing and like, oh my god, just stop. You're saying like, I get it, I get it, I get it. I would feel embarrassed if somebody was doing that to me too. But like for the love of God, man, at the end of the day, I'm not looking like I'm entitled to anything from some of these writers and the artists and whatnot. But I mean, if you're communicating with me in my videos and look at some of the videos that I do, look at some of the actual people who are big time and they look in the they look in at the videos and in the comments like, oh yeah, well what I was going, they're like answering some of the questions that I had about it in the video. I was going for such and such and such. Is it that hard to maybe throw a follow on Twitter? Is that really that big of a deal? Because newsflash, I'm probably following you. You know, I just don't see that as being such a big deal. Just a little bit of, you don't have to share my video or anything like that, but it just feels like I'm giving, giving, giving. And let's be realistic. Anybody who's on YouTube can tell you, you don't make a whole lot of money off of YouTube. Not only can I not quit my day job, stay at home dad. On top of that, I teach English for about 5 hours in the morning. I'm applying for another English teaching job because I need the money. I'm simply not going to make that kind of money doing this. I'm surprised Begel's not here. Hmm. Saying I'm just simply not going to make that kind of money doing YouTube. And maybe one day I will, maybe. But in the meantime, like I'm just trying to do what I can. So make no mistake, I am extremely stressed out that for 3.5 years I've been doing this. And I just don't feel like I feel like I'm putting too much into it and I'm not getting enough back. I want to write my comic books. You know what I'm saying? I want to, what do you call it? I want to put together documentaries where I'm actually exposing comic book writers and artists and like, all these Canadians, north of the border, all these Canadians who are contributing to the comic book world right now. How, in a sense, it kind of started in Canada. The superhero genre started in Canada, for the most part, 50-50. But like, I try to do all of this and I feel like I'm giving too much and I'm not getting enough back. And I've always lived by a policy of give until it hurts because when it does come back, even if it's not as much, it'll feel good. And it's true. Unfortunately, at this point, like since I'm actually, online and I'm just giving, 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 it hurts. It actually does physically hurt. So I'm not the kind of guy who's going to sit here and complain about, oh, nobody's watching ads, nobody's doing this. No, 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 no. I did what I could. I did what I could, and I'll continue reminding people the only way that I get paid for a YouTube video, and anybody on YouTube gets paid for a YouTube video, is if you watch the ad. And I don't put, even if I've got, like a 20-minute video, whatever, I don't put ads in the middle. That's a YouTuber's choice to put ads in the middle. There's also a YouTuber's choice to put ads, to monetize ads in the end of a video. I only allow the videos in the beginning, or I only allow for my videos to have an ad in the beginning. I don't have it all throughout because you know what? You watch an ad, you continue watch, if I'm going to make a 20-minute long video, a 30-minute long video, then that's what I'm making. But I just asked for you to watch the ad in the beginning. If you can do that, rock on. You're awesome. I could see how many people are watching the ads. I can't see which people are watching the ads. So, saying I literally just look at it that way. But unfortunately, when the ad revenue comes back and it's as bad as it was that for the previous month, and I know there's a huge drop off for Christmas and whatnot. I know there's a huge drop off for Christmas, after Christmas. I get it. But when it drops off that much, I look at this and I say, you know what, dude? If I made in a week at my part-time job, 5 hours a day, what I make in a month on YouTube, I would quit that job. There would be no, I got to look for other work. I would quit that job in a heartbeat. So I literally act stupid by continuing to do this because I do love the comic books. I do have a passion for it and everything like that. But here's also where putting too much into this, and again, I pointed that out, and I'm going to tell you some changes to the channel in a heartbeat that I'm going to make in order to try and make this easier and fun, more fun, funner. Yeah, I'm an English teacher, funner, to make it more fun and to actually make this more interactive for everybody. I got some freebie stuff, and then I've got some not free stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some paid stuff, but it makes a whole lot more interactive. So check this out. By also reviewing too many comic books, I can't give the attention to the comic book that I want. If you guys check out my review for issue number 39 of Justice League, which is the final issue that Scott Snyder is doing, excuse me, I was really, really down on that. What do you call it? It was just mental health day a couple days ago in Canada, like earlier in the week in Canada. There are people have it far, far, far worse than me, but I get anxiety. You know, what I'm saying like I suffer from a kind of depression that deals a lot with anxiety. It is what it is. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm not because I think I manage it pretty well. You know what I'm saying? But depression can be like one of the lows of anxiety. You know what I'm saying? And just yeah. So anyway, and I've also got this thing called antiphobia, apparently, where I run towards my fears. So like it helped in high school and all throughout school when I was being picked on by bullies. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, what are you gonna do? And I was like, holy crap, bullies, I'm gonna kill you all. You know what I'm saying? Like it worked really good against them. Unfortunately, like if a car is coming at you and it's like, oh, you want to hit me? I look like an idiot. So like there's the people who freeze, fight, flight, or freeze. People who freeze really good if it's a shark attack. Freeze up, the shark just goes bump and then moves away. If you do like fight or flight, you're going to get eaten. So everything but if it's a car, again, you're going to get hit. Flight is the only one that helps when a car is coming at you. So each one of our our reactions, our adrenaline reactions, you say good for some situations, bad for other situations. Anyway, so that's my situation. Anyway, so yeah, I do get a little bit depressed. So when I was reading Justice League, I was so depressed reading that. And I came down on it pretty hard, harder than most of the comic books that I typically come down on. And then I'm not going to say who it was because it could out the person. I don't want to do that. But one of my buds had a direct message, a DM Twitter conversation with Scott Snyder, different Snyder, with Scott Snyder. And he talked about how it was actually meant to be political. And I try not to look too deep into a comic book for politics. If it's blatant, oh, I'll talk about it. I'm more than happy to talk about it. Bring it. You know what I'm saying? But in this particular case, I look at it and I'm just like, well, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't say that it's political. It's barely touching on political. So I'm just going to stay away from talking about the politics of it. But when you look at it from a political aspect and where in general Scott Snyder lives, he lives on like either Long Island, Staten Island, someplace like that in one of the, the richer neighborhoods of New York. You know what I'm saying? He lives on one of the islands essentially. I could see how you could get depressed with, especially if you have progressive mindset for your, in your political statements. You want good in the world. You want people to be taken care of. You know what I'm saying? I could see how he could be getting really depressed off of that. And he basically indicated that he is getting a little bit depressed because of what's happening in the world. So this is, of course, affecting his writing style. I don't know if he suffers from depression or any other, mental illness, a lot or a little, whatever. But I literally look at this as, wow, man, the attraction that makes you money. Use the word. Oh, well, this is cute. Hey, Refugee Haitian is back. One of the dumbest names on the face of the planet. Nobody get rid of him just yet. Yeah, I've had a problem with your name. I don't know what your name is. It seems kind of weird. If you actually are a refugee Haitian, cool. If you're not, you're a scumbag. And I've got no problem pointing that out. But yeah, I don't know that because you just got Ohio State on your thing there. Yeah, yeah, the writers owe me nothing. That's cute. That's a really cute opinion. At the end of the day now, acting like I'm some kind of an idiot because I have a certain belief kind of speaks back to you. At the end of the day, we all get to feel what we want to feel. And nobody's wrong for that as long as you're not attacking somebody. I didn't attack anybody on Twitter or even now. I'm not calling somebody a bad person. I'm not doing that. But I think that at the end of the day, if I'm promoting your comic book, it would simply be a common courtesy. Do they owe it to me? No. I'm pretty sure I even pointed out they don't owe me anything. But hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. We're all who we are. You know what I'm saying? But when you start using a straw man argument, which is one of I think it's considered the eighth logical fallacy. When you start making a straw man argument where I say this and you say, I can't attack that too much. So let me instead change what he says. So I can say, oh, he actually said this. Then I can attack that. Well, you're attacking a straw man that was created as opposed to what was actually said. I didn't say anybody owes me anything. You even suggesting that I am implying that they owe me something. Listen, maybe you have a problem with the English language, in which case I'm cool with it. I teach English, but I teach English to kids. Sorry, bud. I don't know if I can help you out. But at the end of the day, you and I have had problems before. Oh, the Ohio said, like, you know what? It's sports. So whatever. I don't care. I don't really watch sports. But at the end of the day, little brother, you and I, we've had this issue before. All right. We've had this issue before. So you seem to have a lot of problems with what I say, what I do, with all that stuff. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to help you out. Goodbye. You can no longer see my channel. He can, of course, see my channel if he decides to go, and use another account or something like that. Hey, by all means. But right now, this is not the game that I'm playing. I'm not going to sit here and play a game where this guy has constantly said things that are like he constantly misrepresenting what I'm saying and whatnot. Nobody owes me anything. You guys don't owe me anything. You guys don't even owe me watching the video at the beginning. Okay, there is no social contract between us. I put out content. If you like and support what I do, there's Patreon, there's what's the other thing? PayPal, and there's videos at the beginning, and there's going to be something else coming up soon. I literally I understand the way that YouTube works. It's not that hard, for me at least. It's not that hard. I've been in the game long enough that I understand how YouTube works. I put out stuff. You either choose to support it or you don't. And realistically, even just giving a like is pretty much good enough. A comment would be nice. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you can do. But even watching a video, that alone, that's good. It looks good. It looks good. So look, at the end of the day, I don't even remember what exactly I was on because I just happened to see his name on the side, like on my peripheral vision. I'm like, oh, this guy again. Anyway, so check this out. A very objectionist. I love that there are a bunch of people who I wound up teaching that term to. Ayn Rand's philosophy of objectionism, where libertarianism comes from. Oh, a lot of people asking, how come how come I'm not having a debate with Young Ripper? I don't know. I sent him an email. You know what I'm saying? He probably gets 1,000 emails. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got a huge channel. I'm little guy. Maybe he saw it and he's just like, this guy's a nobody, screw him. And whatever, he's in his rights to do that. Maybe he didn't even see it. You know what I'm saying? If enough of you guys want to see me have a debate with and a friendly debate with the known libertarian Young Ripper, tell him. Tell him, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he'll say, oh, this will get views. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? I'd be more than happy to do something like that. My progressive policies versus his libertarian policies. But in the meantime, so listen, here's so the Scott Snyder thing. I felt a little bit bad. Hi, Bagel's here. I felt a little bit bad about, the way that I talked the way that I talked about Snyder at the end. Come on in, kitty. Yes, yes, yes. So she, okay, so do your stretch and then you come on up. Are you going to come up? You want to come up? Is that a yes? Okay. Whatchy? Hello, kitty, kitty. There we go. There's Bagel. Let me adjust the camera a little bit. Sue Ann's going to rage like, oh my God, I want to see Bagel. So anyway, here's Bagel. and my Black Panther sweatpants, with my Deadpool sweat jacket. Oh, and underneath my Rebel Alliance, baby. um, anyway, so yes, the Super Cat, Empress Bagel, she has arrived. So anyway, what happens? So I just sent him a message. I was like, listen, I don't know Twitter that well, but at the end of the day, look, I think, and I didn't say, hey, I've got a comic book channel and stuff like that. He could see it if he wants to look at it. You know, so I simply pointed out, listen, I think that I was a little bit rude in the way that I looked at your comic book. I didn't see it as being political, but the way that my bud explained it, I feel like maybe I was wrong in the way that I viewed it, and I just want to say I still think that you're amazing. I still think that you're a genius. I think that you're extremely bold and brilliant, and you're exactly what we do need in the comic book world. And even if I didn't like your run on Justice League, whether it's because I didn't understand it or it genuinely just isn't my taste, excuse me, then it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It just genuinely, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I apologize if I apologize for not understanding where you were coming from. And he's just like, well, like he actually responded. It was something that apparently he thought about a little bit because he looked at it, he responded to it, and then 40 minutes later, he responded again in two separate two extra tweets. So three, not tweets, private DMs. And I'm not going to say what he said because it is a private message, but he was pretty understanding and he was really cool. And essentially he still thanked me for being passionate about comic books. You would be hard pressed to find a better human being in comic books right now than Mr. Scott Snyder. So I just want to point that out. Yeah. As a bit of an addendum to my review, which I don't think was necessarily rude, but could be considered. Yeah, I felt really bad about that. Okay, so general changes to the channel right now. One, not reading quite so many comic books in order to not what do you call it? In order to not start to get apathetic towards certain comic books. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to read my comic books and actually enjoy my comic books for what they are, to be able to break them down. Yeah. After that, I'm going to try and go back to bringing my reviews down to approximately 4 minutes each. Because I know that people have time, or people don't have a whole lot of time. As it stands, I just learned recently from the person doing my getting ready to do my website. Should be up. Who knows when it'll be up? Ask her. But Sammy is amazing. She's an amazing human being. Absolutely love everything that she's doing so far. There's more stuff that she did. I'm going to get to that in a hot minute. There's a lot. All right. She's making the website, and she showed me that she actually listens to YouTube. She watches YouTube at like 1.5 times speed. Throw it up in the chat if you give a if you watch my reviews or anybody's YouTube content with what do you call it, at 1.5 or more times speed, because that is freaking brilliant. I think that is absolutely brilliant. Throw a 1.5 in the chat, please, if you're doing that. Suan, hail, hail Empress Bagel. Also, I would love to see you and Blurred do a live stream together. If Blurred is down for it, I respect the gentleman very much. Is he still in the chat? Because if so, yes, I would love to do that. His, mine, both, whatever. Let's do it. Oh, talk about collaborations. Also, Suan, I know what you like. Oh, I know what you like. Oh no, oh no. Okay, here it comes. Boom chaka, boom chaka, Darla, boom chaka, the absolute surprise sleeper hit of the Shazam movie, which, by the way, for my patrons, will be the video that I am reviewing. I'm going to be reviewing that for patrons only. If you didn't sign up, today's the 1st. Sorry, if you didn't sign up yesterday or prior to yesterday, you won't be able to see it. Sorry, that's just the way that is. I forgot to advertise in advance, but I'll be doing the Shazam movie, and I'm going to be doing it with my kids. So Hal and Cal, I will be reviewing the movie with my kids. So that's actually, I just have to edit all that stuff together. It's pretty much their favorite movie ever. So it's clearly going to be, given a lot of praise by them especially. But yeah, and Bagel actually shows up once in a while, so there's that. But she does what she wants to do. She's look that's her Jaws look. That's her Jaws when she's looking straight at me. I am Jaws. So anyway, oh, Blurred is here, and he does love Darla. See, genius, good taste. So anyway, some of the changes to the channel are as follows. I will be reducing the amount of time that I'll be doing my reviews. All right. I'm going to be bringing them down a lot. So I'm going to be trying to do like 4 minutes each. I'm also going to be doing a lot less reviews. So anything that you've seen on the channel that is a Marvel or DC comic that only gets less than two, that doesn't quite hit that 200 mark in the first couple of days that the video is up, you have spoken. You've already voted. You've already voted. That's the vote. So I don't need a Twitter poll for that. Boom, done. Conversation's over. Thank you for your participation. I will be dropping those. One of those that I was thinking about is Shazam. As bothered as I am by the things I said about Mr. Zub, I still respect him as a brilliant mind. You know what I'm saying? And I will give his first issue number 13 of Conan the Barbarian, which drops this month, later on this month. I will be giving that a shot. If nobody's interested, if I don't get 200 or more views, I won't be continuing with the Barbarian. I'll still read it. I'll still buy it and I'll still read it, but I'm not going to go through all that extra effort of making those videos. See, because I understand what I do. What my channel is rather than what a lot of channels do, they'll do like all of their comic book. Here's the comic books that I read for the week. Well, that's cool, but I don't want to make people sit through stuff that they're not interested in sitting through. So instead, I do the individual reviews. So you can say, I'm not interested in those 6 comic books, but that one that he's doing, I'm interested in that one. So this way, your time is not being killed. I'm devoting this amount of time and therefore your time to my discussions about this book. Done. It is what it is. But I will, however, I will be bringing back the Dookie Fat Stacks. I know everybody loves the Dookie Fat Stacks. I will be playing a song on guitar. I'll be playing my acoustic guitar. I'll have like a little, jingle for it. But I will be bringing those back hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. And that's actually going to be a tier reward. You look below, you turn the phone sideways, whatever. There's the membership, the YouTube membership. I'm going to take advantage of the YouTube membership stuff. Okay. So all my individual reviews will still be up for free. I'm not going to take anything away from you guys. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not taking anything away. I'm going to continue doing the same content I'm doing, just not as much of it, because what's the point if so few people are actually interested in the comic books? Indie comics and those smaller comics that are, considered indie, but they're like Dynamite and Boom and Valiant and all that stuff, I'll still be doing those. But Marvel and DC, under 200, wiped from existence. You voted. You guys voted on it. Oh, Sue Ann, please stop. Blurred said yes, Professor, which allows me to sneak in. And I knew it. You're evil. I love you, but you're evil. What do you call it? Dookie? No, not Dookie Stacks, Reggie Simmons. The Dookie Fat Stacks, my brother. The Dookie Fat Stacks. Like, I got to be silly. I got to be silly with it. So anyway, I will be bringing the Dookie Fat Stacks, but, I haven't done them in like about a month, but I'll be bringing them back, but I'll be putting them behind the membership paywall. The first tier will only be $1, though. Like I said, I understand. One of my buds just talked about how he just had like $1,100 worth of repairs to his car. I'm like, dude, that's like a car, a problem with your car. There are people who they see the engine light come on and whatnot, and they're just like, holy crap, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. Like everything's, to wreck. I can't afford to get my car fixed. If it's not oil, if it's an oil light, hey, I can change the oil. But dude, like you're killing me right here. You know what I'm saying? I've said it multiple times. I'm going to say it again. There are people who can't afford. There are parents who can't afford to send their kids to school with a lunch. You know what I'm saying? So if they can't afford, like $1 per day, how are they going to afford $1 a month? You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I get it. But that's why I'm trying to keep everything cheap. Trying to keep everything cheap. $1 and you will get the Dookie Fat Stacks review. Boom, done. All right. What do you call it? I'm going to also bring back a couple things that I haven't done in a while. One of the things is the Explained in a Minute reviews. So I will explain characters. I'll go into extensive detail, giving credit to the writer and the artists who are responsible for the creation of the character. Go and check out my explained in a minute. I actually changed them to 10 things about, but I still kept the parentheses explained in a minute because they started taking longer than a minute to do. But anyway, I'm going to start doing those again. So this way, a whole bunch of these characters can be explained. With those, at least, actually, I think with all of them, eventually they will wind up becoming regular. Since Bagel got off, you can see my this side, Black Panther. I love this. You know what? Just whatever. I never got the chance to show you guys this, but anyway, boom. There's my Black Panther. Okay, Bagel, you want to go out? I'm gonna let you go out. So yeah, I'm kicking. Go ahead. Okay, well, I'm not going out. I'm not leaving. I'm staying here. So you stay, I stay, we stay. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to be doing that. All right. I'm going to be doing that. Um, what happened here? Bagel always like takes me off track. I love you. You're not coming back up. Not right now. So what happens here? I'm going to be doing the Dookie Fat Stacks, and at another tier, I'm going to be doing two different things. I'm going to be doing that. Ah, oh, Cryptid, I love you, man. Keep up the great work, Professor. We appreciate all the content you give. And I know you've got two loves. Well, I don't have a Deadpool here, but what I do have is a brand new Captain America, which I know is like your second favorite character. So kaboom, boom, boom, boom. Let's travel back in time, fool. So anyway, there. And thank you for the super chat. So yes, that's going to happen. I'm going to be bringing those back, and for the same tier. And I don't know what I'm going to charge for that one yet. I don't know what I'm going to charge for that one yet, but I don't know what I'm going to charge for that one yet. But maximum would be $5. I might make it lower because again, I understand, I get it. But anyways, with these will eventually be available on YouTube later, like a month later, anyway. But I'm going to be bringing back the 10 things about videos. So 10 things about a particular character, on which means that you guys will just get it first, and you guys will get it, like when it's important, when it matters. Certain characters I'll be doing is Black Widow, Taskmaster, all of the Eternals individually. I'll probably put them all out inside of a month so that you guys can actually get a good grasp on those. Black Knight, excuse me, I'm going to have to do Dane Whitman. Jon Snow is going to be playing freaking Black Knight. That's a big deal, right? And there's a lot of people asking me, hey, could you do a video on Black Knight? So I'm like, done. I could do a video about Black Knight because he's going to be one of the main characters in the Eternals movie. So, okay, done. Consider it done. And for that exact same tier that gets all those explained in a minute videos, I'll try and do one a week. I'm also going to bring back the spotlight on story. So this way, a really cool comic book, boom, all of a sudden, there you go. The first one that I'm going to be doing is the first volume, the first 6 issues of Darkness, The Darkness. So Jackie Estacado from Top Cow. Yeah, I'll be doing that one first. So you guys will get that, and yeah, it'll be freaking cool. All right. So anyway, that's going to be on the membership stuff. I don't know what else I'll be doing in general, but I will be doing some of that. Actually, one of the things I'll be doing also will be an actual live chat with you guys, but only for members, only for specific members. So if you're at a certain tier of membership, I'll do this, and I'll have you guys' emails, available. I don't collect it for any kind of a list or anything like that. I don't send you guys email mailers, but what I will do is I'll actually have some of you guys online with me. So this way I'll be able to bounce a couple of you guys in and out, throw you guys some invitations. You can talk with me in the chat, and a couple of you guys I'll try and bring in to actually converse with you, and you guys can, actually voice chat back and forth with me also. That's one thing to do. Another thing that I'll be doing is something that I'm actually going to be doing right. And I'm going to try and do something like that for patrons also, because why the heck wouldn't I? So let's see, what's the one thing? Okay, here it is. Let's copy this and let's go ahead and send it to you guys. I'm only going to keep this in the chat. So if you're here live at this particular moment, boom, I'm going to be erasing this in a couple of moments. Here it is. Kabow. Yes. Sammy, my website creator, designer, who's designing it, right now as we speak. She also created a Discord for me. So had a bunch of people over the past year, remind me, hey, you ever going to do a Discord? Boom. There are already a couple of moderators in there. There's already a whole bunch of cool, so I've got moderators in there already. I've got a whole bunch of stuff for my face rip games that I'm running. So the Marvel Superheroes Advanced Role Playing Game System that I do. So you get actually Dungeons and Dragons rolling dice and pen and paper. I will lead I'll be the dungeon master, and you guys actually get to play in the games. I've got special rooms for those. They're voice chat rooms for those. There's a general voice chat in there, and then there's a whole bunch, a couple other channels where you guys can actually talk about comic books, movies, whatever, and just have fun. I only have one rule: don't be a dick. It's as simple as that. Don't be a dick. If you're I understand the passion that comic book fans will have, and if you have that kind of passion, that's cool. You're good people, right? But at the end of the day, don't be a jerk to anybody. You know what I'm saying? If somebody disagrees with you on something, don't be a jerk to them. That's all. Because yes, you will be permanently banned from the Discord. I don't want that kind of negativity in there. That's not this community. And the thing is, I don't have to say it to most of you guys, but to a lot of people, they need to hear that clearly. So you guys can hang out with me on Facebook. You can hang out with me, whatever. But here, I'm just like, oh man, there's so much bother. And it's like there's a lot of complaint. Well, guess what? Here's a Gorilla Man explained in a minute. I don't think I need Gorilla Man explained in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Plus, you know how much I hate monkeys and gorillas and all that stuff in freaking what do you call it? My comic books. But Gorilla Man explained in a minute. He's a dude who, if you kill him, you get his powers. You get to become a gorilla. Bang. So anyway, oh hey, hello, Dragon. Dragon, love your content community. Can I get a Wolverine figure dance or any X-Man will do? Just no Cyclops. You're not gonna like what's coming up because I just remembered another thing that I'm gonna be doing soon. Okay, here's the problem. Oh, I do have one X-Man here. I have my Build-A-Figure of Warlock. So boom, it's either that or Lady Deathstrike. So, and that's not really an X-Man. So I can get the, get the self friend. It's nice to meet you. Where is Cypher? I don't know. Hi. So there you go. Got my little dancer, and thank you very much. So you've got a good and a bad thing coming to you, Dragon, because one of the things I'm going to be doing, and I just started the conversation about it today with the two individuals involved, I'm going to be starting a new thing, a new monthly thing on my channel where it's basically comic book courtroom. We are going to take a character and or a specific incident, and we're going to be bringing that person to court over it. All right. I will be the judge. I will not get involved except to like bring order to the court and things like that. I will very specifically. Oh, Paul is actually asking about that right now. Paula, love you, girl. Also, I got your the comic books that you sent. Thank you very much. All the love in the world. Oh, look at this. What's up, Wolf? How you doing, brother? What do you call it? Anyway, so I've got yeah, it's going to be a courtroom. Okay, I'm going to be presiding. I'm going to try and get a barrister's wig if I can. Yes, I'm going to make it all sorts of fun. I got my gavel right here, the worthy gavel. All right, and look how easily I pick that thing. How easily I hoist that. So I'm going to be doing that, and then I'm going to have a prosecution and a defense. And the very first and we're just going to be doing that. It's not going to be live. It's not going to be live. So no audience participation at first. But I will leave for you guys to decide once all the evidence is out there. You guys get to be the jury. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to be presiding over the case and making sure everything stays orderly. There'll be evidence presented and everything. It's going to be edited. I'm going to put out, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. The very first case that I will be bringing up is, was Cyclops right? And that's the whole premise right there. So defense and prosecution can both argue. They can both take into interpretation, take into counsel and interpretation of what that means. Was Cyclops right? So to me, it makes sense that Scott Summers should be the first. So he was the first. He was the first person called an X-Man, right? So boom, I figured that he should be the first in this particular regard also. You either love Cyclops or you hate Cyclops. He's a very divisive character. You know what I'm saying? I want to see his relationship with Captain America, who humans consider to be the greatest of people, but humans are also, oftentimes very against mutants. I think it's going to be a really fun situation. We're actually going to have that debate on Friday, and then I've got to edit the video and put it out. I'm going to try and put that up as a Monday video. Yeah, I'm going to try and put that up as a Monday video. So what am I going to do on Sundays? Starting tonight, I'm going to be hanging out with one of your favorites and mine. And if you're not subscribed to him, you should be. Chillmonger, local Canadian, and he's in Toronto proper. I'm here in Mississauga. Very cool guy. And I'm going to try and have special guests on once in a while. I've already got a couple people lined up for a podcast. You might notice that I changed the name of this to Livestream because I told you when I first started doing this, I was dumb and I didn't understand the difference between a podcast and a live stream. This is not a podcast, it's a live stream. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to start trying to edit out all those things. But like, no, it's not. Oh, and check it out. Oh, Chillmonger, you're here. Yes. So tonight after this, Chillmonger and I are actually going to be having the conversation. We're going to be doing our own podcast. So yes, I will eventually put that up on this channel. We'll try and do something so he can put on his channel also, because you guys have to go and check out his channel. But more than that, it's actually going to be an official podcast. So I'm going to purchase space on, I think, Podbean, and I'll see what else is out there. And my intent is to try and get sponsors and to try and get it to Apple, you know what I'm saying, the iTunes and all that stuff. But Chillmonger is down for this. Dude just went out and bought a new camera, which I didn't see the new camera yet, but he just went out and bought a Blue Yeti. So homie's like, he's golden right now. You know what I'm saying? So boom, we both got some good internet connections and everything. We're going to try and have this podcast. We were thinking about doing it in person, but there's too much with acoustics that we have to deal with also. This way, just I think it'll be easier. But anyway, it's going to be a voice-only podcast that I'm going to be putting out for everybody to check out. I'm going to try and have that drop every Sunday. I don't know if I can get it up tomorrow, but we'll see. Anyway, tonight might just be a practice session. Who knows? But we'll see. We're going to try and do this right. Either way, we will also have the video available later in the week here on this channel. Let's see. Where is that? Boom! It's gone. D. McElroy is going to be one of the. Actually, he's going to be the. So be cool, guys. Be cool, this guy. He's going to be the guy who's actually in defense of Cyclops in that video. So, you know, be cool. And also, he's got a big task in front of him because the guy that is the prosecution is actually a person who loves Cyclops, but he's actually a real life lawyer in Texas. So I was like, listen, since you are an actual lawyer, do you think that you can actually be the prosecution in this case? He's like, yeah, I could do that. Because sometimes that's what you got to do as a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to compromise his morals and he's going to be going up against this. I actually wanted to get Wilfredo to do this with me, but he doesn't want to show his face on the camera, which I'm okay. And he's not ready to do all that stuff yet. So I don't want to push anything on anybody. So, but Wilfredo, huge friend of the channel, probably in the chat someplace right now. Holy crap, Federico Blee, what's going on, brother? This is not a podcast? Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Are we caught in a landslide with no escape from reality? Yes, I do actually know some Queen songs. Actually, I love Queen. But Federico Blee, colorist extraordinaire. I constantly say one of the top 2 colorists in the business today. Like just boom. Is he better than Paul Mounts? Is he worse than Paul? I think that he does more than Paul Mounts. But yeah, what do I know? What do I know? All I know is that eventually we're going to have a duel, like the Duel of the Fates, Duel of the Colorists, between Federico Blee and Paul Mounts. Actually, these two are probably best friends. They'll probably be like, screw this, let's go have a beer. But anyway, all the love in the world, man. Absolutely love everything that you do. Legitimately, everything that you do. What do you call it? So anyway, yeah, I'm going to be doing an actual podcast as opposed to this live stream where I can do questions and answers back and forth with you guys. I'm actually going to be doing a podcast where it's just Chill and I, Chillmonger and I talking, just hanging out and just boom, done. And then put that out so that, yeah. And we're only going to, so this way it's not just me communicating with you guys. It's actually something where we're only going to be talking about comic books. Because you guys know, a lot of times this thing turns into a political debate, or not even a debate, just me talking to you about, progressive politics and whatnot. What do you call it? Just, yeah, anti-stupidity, in general, which I have no problem doing, but I feel like I would yeah, anyway, I don't want to consider this as a podcast. So I'm going to go back and try and change all the names of these to live stream instead because yeah. So anyway, I'm going to post it again for you guys. Boom. Discord. You guys can jump into the Discord. Derek Pierce, what's going on, Derek? Um, Here we are, born to be kings. We are the princes of the universe. The first, and I know I suck at singing. Anyway, you should hear me speed rapping. But what do you call it? Yeah, that the first half of that song, at least, is one of the greatest songs in the history of creation. Anyway, Derek is actually one of the moderators in that Discord. So there's chat Discord, there's voice Discord. Um, Sammy, you'll see her as Samus on there, but Sammy's there, and she. If you guys want to ask her about, you want your own website or something like that, she can design your website for you. She does a great job. She's willing to learn new programs just in order to be able to give you what you want as far as your social media exposure or anything else that you're doing. Like, she is freaking awesome like that. Oh, it says new comments, which means I'm not all the way down the bottom. Anyway, yes, Derek, you're a freaking moderator there. Jeez, unbelievable. Yes. No. Oh, wow. Lord, you're still here. I love you, man. Yes, the Highlander theme song. That's the theme from Highlander. Yes, it is because it's freaking awesome. Cryptid, I love you, man. Take it easy. I really hope to see you in the Discord because, yeah, you've got way too much to offer on Deadpool and Captain America to not be there. Anyway, what do you call it? Cryptid actually used to have a back when the Google Docs, whatever it was called, the Google pages were a big thing. He actually owned one where he was talking about a lot of good stuff. So anyway, yeah, we got a whole bunch of stuff coming up. All right, so realistically, I'm offering a bunch more free content. I'm reducing the number of comic books I'm going to be reviewing. Right now, in my head, I'm thinking 6 comic books per week. All right. I'm thinking 6 comic books a week. That's what I'm going to be reviewing because it's not too darn much. All right. Um, nice screen name, Alpha Flight Guy. Whoa, what? Oh, look at this. Get a coloring book and let them go out. Okay, that's wrong. That's just wrong. Anyway, Alpha Flight Guy, dude. I don't know if you know my love for Alpha Flight, but I got a big love for Alpha Flight. I actually paid a lot of money to get all of those Alpha Flight figures coming in. Plus, I moved my Sasquatch with them. I have the Build-A-Figure for Sasquatch. The only one I'm waiting for is Box. But at the end of the day, technically any old box will do, right? Look, I got a box of cookies, oatmeal cookies here that I can, look, I've got Box. Anybody who's an Alpha Flight fan is laughing their ass off at that joke right now. Anyway, so Logan was a traitor. Gee, a guy named Viclops, X-Man. I wonder if he's biased in that argument. So anyway, I'm drastically reducing the number of comic books that I review in the individual reviews. Sorry. I will not be offering any individual reviews in the YouTube membership thing, although I may consider doing a couple of extended reviews over for the patrons because just it is what it is, and I don't charge a lot. There are not big tiers in my patron. There's just not, because again, I don't want to do that. There's some people asking for merchandise. Yeah, I've got to be convinced a whole lot more to actually do merchandise because I'm sorry, like, our worldview is based on our perception. I've grown up poor my entire life. Okay. When I was an electrical engineer and when I was working in Saudi Arabia and the Middle East in general, hey, I was making really good ducats, but I wasn't in America or here in Canada as a rich person. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't call it rich, but as a, pretty affluent middle class type person. But no, I've always grown up pretty poor. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty comfortable now, saying two working people in a household. But, when push comes to shove, I still see the world as not being able to generate a whole lot of disposable income. So I've got to be convinced a whole lot more to do merchandise. You know what I'm saying? But maybe one of these days that'll happen. But that is simply not one of the announcements to the people who are really asking for it. Sorry. I genuinely am sorry. I just like, yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to be offering more for my patrons. Oh, what am I going to be offering more for my patrons? That I'm actually going to have to discuss with the patrons. I put out that one post, so boom, there's that. I may do something with political commentary, especially with us getting so close to elections right now. I'm a pro Bernie guy. Just it is, it is the way it is. Again, progressive politics. But stop motion animations. That's something that I'm going to mostly be offering exclusively to patrons. So you guys saw some of my stop motion stuff that I've done, and I've got lots and lots of figures. I'm going to do a really cool Daredevil and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover, plus an Usagi Yojimbo Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover. That's going to be really big for me. I'm going to try and have a WWE match where I also bring in the Contender, Doomsday, the new 52 version, Connect and Collect Doomsday. There's going to be a whole lot of good stuff there. What do you call it? Yeah, I'm going to try and do a whole lot of get Star Wars stuff, my DC stuff. You always see my Marvel stuff, and then there's also Transformer stuff there, and you see like my Devastator, my Unicron over there. Oh, and you can also see Reflector over here, which is one of my particular favorites. The next one I do is actually going to be horror themed, and that is going to be patron only. I am going to have I've got Michael Myers, I've got Freddy Krueger, I've got a Pennywise. That's not a great Pennywise, but it's a Pennywise, and I've got a Jason Voorhees. And if we're going to be doing the horror motif, I did get one of the new Todd McFarlane figures. And I'm not a huge fan of the 7-inch figures, but I did get one of them. So he's going to be in that horror themed motif also. So if you guys are interested in becoming can we have Darla stop motion? Yes, I am 100%, Suen, going to be doing, well, not just Darla. I'll be doing all of the Captain Marvel. Well, I did that by accident, but it's only one of the reasons Wolverine is salty, and that's he's always had this thing for redheads, man. And that's the thing that bothers me about Wolverine. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you call it? Most of you guys, I think, know that my wife is African. What do you call it? Every so often somebody will say, it hardly ever happens because I think most people understand me. It's like, oh, you got a thing for black chicks, right? No, I've got a thing for my wife. Like there's a difference. She's not easily substitutable with anybody else. Like it's not really the way that it works. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that actually bothers me about Wolverine. It seems like any redhead will do. You know what I'm saying? It could be Heather Hudson. It could be that original girl from back in the day. It could be Sabretooth's sister. It could be Jean Grey. It's like at what point is he going to start, trying to mac on freaking Hope Summers and which would be super freaky and Siren. You know what I'm saying? Like he just macs on anybody, saying with red hair for crying out loud. If freaking Stephen Hofstetter, the ginger kid comedian, if he were to walk into the room, he'd be like, hey, you're looking pretty good. It's like, dude, it's a bit much. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit much. Yeah, just if any redhead will do, that's not really love. That's just lust. And in which case, that's one of the things that brings me down on Wolverine a little bit. Loves me some Logan, but yeah. Yeah, Wolverine definitely blurting it. Wolverine definitely has a type. Yeah, absolutely does. Keep him away from MJ. Yes. Keep this dude away from MJ. Oh, and if the dude needs to break the habit, hook him up with Madeline Pryor. Goblin Queen, baby. That'll get you fixed. You know what I'm saying? One way or the other. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to be doing a bunch of stop motions for the patrons, and there was actually a couple things that were asked for. I'm going to actually clean up my tiers instead of just, whatever. I'm actually going to clean up my tiers a little bit so that I'm actually giving more content. So realistically, as I'm bringing down individual comic book reviews, I'm going to be doing a lot more for you guys. So patrons, taking care of them. Members, I'm going to start the membership here. And holy crap, there's already a horde of people joining the Discord. One more time. Why not Typhoid Mary? You know what? That's probably the best idea. She's a mutant also, right? So why not Typhoid Mary? You're absolutely right. D. McElroy. D. McElroy. You sent me that one video. D. McElroy. Sorry, I was mispronouncing your name, dude. So, what happens? Blah blah blah. English language. Yeah, one of my many languages. So for the membership, I'm going to be starting the YouTube membership. Hopefully by the end of this month. I will have that stacked. I'm going to have a whole bunch of videos in advance so that I can start just pumping them out so that you guys aren't waiting for anything because I hate being late for stuff. But yes, I'm going to do a whole bunch of good stuff like that for you guys so that boom, you're content, you're happy, because you should be. You know what I'm saying? So extended reviews. Like if you liked my Avengers, I just did the Avengers issue number 30, where 25 minutes I just went on and got really deep with the meaning of the book, and it was like real. I loved that issue, even though I haven't been particularly happy with Aaron's run so far. On like it's ups and downs, a lot of ups and downs. I went into a lot of like exasperating detail with how much I loved Avengers issue number 30. Sans Ghost Rider's dialect, which actually turns out to be halfway decent in and of itself, but there was no context behind it. Anyway, I'm going to be doing extended reviews for you guys in the form of Dookie Fat Stacks with a theme song. Um, and what else is there? The 10 things about explained in a minute, and the spotlights on stories. So I'm going to be doing that. And then as far as free content, here's the Discord in the chat for you guys to join. And then there's also the what do you call it? The once a month I'm going to be doing the comic book courtroom thing. So completely different from, it's not going to be like a versus battle. Like what if Cyclops fought against? Because I may decide to bring back the versus battles also. That was something I actually really enjoyed doing. But for now, I decided, yeah, let's just do this stuff. So debating a topic in the thing. One of the things I want to do is I want to talk about Riri Williams. Is Riri Williams a thief? I have my own opinion on it. I think that she's one of the greatest freaking characters ever created. You know what I'm saying? Of the new characters, she's still my screensaver. Years later, she's still my desktop. You know what I'm saying? On my computer. Loves me some Riri Williams. Any engineer I'm going to freaking love, right? But I do want to have an open debate with someone who's not toxic. So there will be no damn comic skaters in my freaking channel if I can help it. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna try and have a debate with, like, did Riri Williams steal from Tony Stark? Because I think that's an honest debate that we can have. I also want to do one about Wonder Woman. Does Wonder Woman actually represent feminism as it actually is? Which means we're gonna have to properly define feminism, and we're gonna have to, talk about all the different phases that Wonder Woman has gone through. So yeah, I'm going to try and have all of these different topics of conversation because I think that they're all relevant and a whole lot of fun. So those are just three that I have planned for now. Anyway, guys, that's going to have to be it because yeah. So I'm going to bounce out of here. I think okay, my wife is still awake, so maybe we can hang out and my particular favorites, watch some Boy Meets World. I'm just saying, and yeah, yeah, we're gonna do all that stuff. So, actually, no, I can't. Chillmonger, if you're still here, get ready, dude. I'm going to send you the link and we're going to start doing our rap and everything like that. Oh, we could rap. We could rap. But I mostly know old school raps. I mostly know the old school raps. Bum city, bum hum. I got the dump, rap bum bum, but I can fee your foe. Diddly from here I comes to Peter Piper. I'm hyper than Pinocchio's nose because I'm the supercalifragilistic tic tac foe. Anyway, all the fun stuff. Daz Effects, you guys can look that one up. Really fun song. They want effects. What do you call it? So when rap was happy. So yeah, I'm gonna be hanging out with Chillmonger right now. That's not gonna be live, but maybe, if we're happy with the way that it turns out, I'll try and have that an actual podcast for you guys to listen to tomorrow, as soon as tomorrow. We'll see, and I will make sure I give you guys the link right here on YouTube. I'll do one of those posts on YouTube so that yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna bounce. Love all you guys for showing up. You're all freaking super excited. Oh, sorry, I did mention the X-Men thing, the Dawn of X thing. I'm still gonna continue doing that, but I don't get a whole lot of audience participation in that. What's the reason? Because I'm reading the book and doing the spoilers before the books are actually out. So I will continue doing them. I'm not going to put them behind it. Like I said, I'm not changing anything, putting things behind a paywall that I used to give you guys for free. I'm not going to do that. The only change for the Dawn of X reviews, the spoiler reviews, which will be live still, it's going to bounce back to Friday. So this way, for the most part, everyone will have had time to read it, to talk about it, and whatnot. So, yeah, Fridays at should it be midnight? It might be midnight. It'll probably still be at midnight. So, you had your hard days of work. excuse me, get a nap, and then we'll talk about then. So it will no longer be Tuesday nights / Monday mornings at midnight. It's going to bounce back to probably Fridays. We'll see. We'll see. It might be Thursdays. I might do it sooner, but it'll definitely be a little bit later on in the week because, yeah. Anyway, well, I'm here now. What does somebody want to say something really quick before I bounce? What's happening? Baby cable isn't my cable. Cool. Can't wait to see the podcast. The podcast should be pretty awesome, Hayden. I think the podcast should be pretty freaking awesome. Are you kidding me? You know that one. What is it? Fraudulent foe with the strength of Hercules, but the way my dick must really hurt you, neat dude. That's a really fun one. At the same time, it's also talking about a white guy who's trying to be black. So what are you trying to say, Chill? What are you trying to say? Anyway, what do you call it? Yeah, I know all that good stuff, dude. All that good stuff. So anyway, can't get enough CBU. Chaz, love you very much. Oh, Derek, your wife says what's up. Tell her I said what's up too. What do you call it? If you guys are actually on Facebook, you guys got to check out Derek and Christina Pierce, their commentary, because aside from my own marriage, they're probably one of my favorite marriages out there. The way these two poke fun of each other, it's freaking hysterical. And it all plays out live on Facebook. Anyway, guys, and that's one of the reasons why I made the Discord. Okay, fine, one more time. It's one of the reasons why I actually made the Discord in the first place, was because a lot of people don't like what the principles behind what Facebook is. And what's the name of the jackass who runs Facebook? I can't stand him either. Not Mark Knopfler, because he's cool. Dire Straits, so far away from me. What's his name? Okay, fine. One more appearance by Bagel. She's trying to come up again. Come on up, girl. Hey. Mark. Well, you know this jackass's name. Anyway, that jackass. So, yeah, if you don't like Facebook, hey, Discord's available. So you can actually do it. Mark Zuckerberg, thank you, Dragon, because you're, all of you guys. Wow, there's a lot of people. That just kind of came up. Everybody started throwing up Zuckerberg. Everybody hates Zuckerberg, man. Everybody hates Zuckerberg. So yeah, there you go. Zuckerberg, I like it. And of course, the star of the show. I know. I'm secondary, tertiary at best. But anyway, the Invisible Man is cool. My props are cooler, or my modifications to my characters. You know what I'm saying? Like all these mods that I do to my characters and whatnot. Anyway, so yeah, boom, that's it. We're good. We're done. So I will talk to you guys later. And yeah, he's not blasting off as much as he used to. I'll talk to you guys later. All right. Love, peace, and hair grease. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.